Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and now that the Direct Partner Showcase storm has settled a bit, don't worry, I'll have a video in the works where I'm talking about that Elliot game, but Nintendo has revealed, showcased, there's many words for it, their latest financial results. And this is interesting because the Switch 2 has come out, and well, it's just cool to see how well the console has performed. It's performed really well, and games like Mario Kart, how well they have done. So why don't we just jump right into it? So, Nintendo shares in their business highlights, and I quote, Nintendo Switch 2 was launched globally on June 5th, 2025. As announced in our news release, Nintendo Switch 2 sell-through exceeded 3.5 million units worldwide in the 4 days following the launch. This is the highest ever global sales during the first 4 days after the launch of any of our dedicated video game platforms. So yeah, in the first 4 days, it sold 3.5 million, but we already knew that. Those were really high numbers. Here's the interesting thing though, quoting again, Nintendo Switch 2 sales grew at a strong pace following the launch, with sell-through exceeding 6 million units globally in the 7 weeks after launch. Currently, demand for Nintendo Switch 2 is exceeding supply in many countries, and we regret the inconvenience this is causing our consumers. We will continue to strengthen our production and supply systems to deliver as much Nintendo Switch 2 hardware as possible. So, the Nintendo Switch 2, well, it's smashing records. It's the fastest selling system console ever. 6 million in just over a month. That is absolutely insane. They also share a graph here where we can see Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch OLED model, the Switch Lite, and Nintendo Switch. And we can see up until the launch of the Switch 2, well, the numbers were essentially halving every single step of the way, which is, yeah, pretty much expected. We can see that the player base has kind of plateaued. The annual player users started off at 19 million. 2023-2024 was at 129 million, and now it's at 128 million. Still, the numbers are incredibly high. You will just reach a point where, well, you can't expect to grow all the time, especially with those kinds of numbers. But we also have some hardware sales, which I'll look at right now because that is also quite interesting. So Mario Kart World has sold 5.63 million units. The attach rate, wow. Of course, Mario Kart World was the game to play when the Switch 2 came out, but the attach rate is still insanely high. It'll be interesting to see how well the game keeps selling, you know, ever since Nintendo kind of killed online with the update where you can't choose random. Yeah, I'm excited to see if this will be the same smashing success as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I've seen people going back to that game simply because they have issues with the new one. One thing to note as well, I just want to clarify, because Nintendo says they have sold more than 6 million, but then in graphs like these, where we can actually see that Mario Kart has sold 5.63 million copies, we also see that the Switch has not sold more than 6 million units, it has sold 5.82 million units. And that is because these two numbers, how many Mario Kart World has sold and the Switch 2, at least right here, is as of June 30th. So we don't have all of July, but the over 6 million, well, that is, well, if we take 7 weeks from the launch, that is the 24th of July. We also see some updated sales for the Nintendo Switch 1, and these numbers, well, they are getting closer and closer to the DS. 153.10 million units, and as you can see here, the DS is at 154.02. Will it reach it? I think yes. That is absolutely insane. But we also have some, they reconfirmed some release dates of some of the upcoming games. We have August 14th, we have Drag X Drive, then we have Kirby Air Riders, still in 2025. I'm excited to see more of that game whenever they decide to show some of it off. Hyrule Warriors, as they announced in the Direct, is coming out this winter, and Splatoon Raiders is TBD. We also have some first-party titles, so the previous games were for Nintendo Switch 2 exclusively, but these titles are only for Nintendo Switch, but they do also specify that they can also be played on Nintendo Switch 2. Pokémon Legends Set A comes out October 16th, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond still doesn't have a release date, stuck at 2025. I imagine it'll be the holiday title, unless Nintendo, of course, decides at September to finally remember that Mario is turning 40 this year, and they have a big shebang. Rhythm Heaven Groove, a game I'm really stoked to see. I played Rhythm Heaven on the 3DS. Really a great time. But we're getting a new one in 2026, so still a ways off. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is also slotted at 2026, another cult classic, which also played quite a bit of. A really nice time. Excited to see what new steps they'll take in this one, and if it'll be better than the 3DS version, because I mean that was really goofy, really funny. I hope that it's just that, but more. And finally we have Pokemon Champions, which comes out in 2026 as well. A game, well, I don't really care about that, but I know a lot of people do, because we talked about it in a chat when it was announced, and people were like, no, this is actually really exciting. So yeah, happy for those people. Next up is the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, first-party software, where we had Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, which both launched at launch. I've been playing quite a lot of Tears of the Kingdom, and yeah, these upgrades are really good. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition Plus, Jamboree TV came out not that long ago. I played quite a lot of that, have had a lot of fun, especially with the 2v2 rules. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition Plus, Star-Crossed Worlds, is coming out August 28th. At launch, well, I played this game quite a lot. I didn't get super into it, not because I didn't like the game, it's just I stopped playing it one day and never got back to it, but this seems to be the perfect opportunity to do so, because, well, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a great game, and I think my only issue really with it was that characters in the distance, well, they chopped a lot, because, well, the Switch wasn't that powerful. So it ran 30 FPS, snapping up to 60 FPS, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Pokemon Legends ZA also has a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, plus Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what games Nintendo decide to give the Switch 2 treatment in the future. Now, we have lots of games which have gotten a free Switch 2 upgrade, like Mario Odyssey, which just now is more crisp and has faster load times. So yeah, I can't wait to see what the future holds. They also talk about some digital sales, which I'll just show here on the screen, and then you can just make off that what you will. Nintendo will also be holding Nintendo Live, which, yeah, it's really nice when your channel is called Nintendo Live. This will be held in Tokyo, big site, on October 4th and 5th. It was last held in Japan in 2022, so it's been a while. If I remember correctly, it was a great time. I actually don't remember much of the event, but cool to see that they're doing that again. And lastly, I'll just go over some quick things. For example, that they said that they are still maintaining the goal of 15 million units sold of the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware and 45 million units of the software. So yeah, I mean, with the strong launch that they've had, of course, they're still going to think that they're going to sell that. And personally, well, I could definitely see them doing that. And I also just wanted to go over where the Switch 2 has sold well, like how much has it sold in Japan, the Americas, Europe, and other. Gavin Lane has actually put a really nice breakdown of this, together with just all the detail in written form of this financial report. I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. But yeah, in Japan, the console has sold 1.27 million consoles. The Americas, 2.08 million. In Europe, 1.34 million. And in other, 1.13 million. So what does this all mean for Nintendo? Well, it means that they are doing very good. All the people saying that this console would flop, that, oh, it's been... I've had people ask me, have you heard about the Switch 2 controversies? I'm like, oh, what? No, I've not heard about that. Oh, you know how the games are really expensive and all that stuff. Yeah, I have heard about that, and that has been a big issue, but it seems like, well, it has not been that big of an issue for a lot of people since, well, the internet is kind of an echo chamber, so you might feel like the entire internet is going on and on about a problem, and then in reality, it's only like a very loud minority who really has something against this. Of course, games are very expensive. I do understand why some people are outraged by it. So I think we have some really good years in store for us with Nintendo Switch 2. Some people are a bit concerned given that third-party support hasn't been... I mean, it has been good, but it's just, for example, in the Partner Direct, there was so high expectations and a lot of games were just not shown. Hades 2, Clair Obscur 33, a lot of that stuff. But what do you think of all this data? Are you surprised, or did you just think, yeah, Nintendo are gonna smash it, and they did, and you're just sitting there saying, I told you so. Well, let us know down in the comments below, and thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to, well, analyze that subscribe button and see how many subscribers we have. It's quite a lot now. So yeah, thank you to each and every one of you for watching and subscribing and all that. Really, really appreciate it. All right then, Felix from Nintendo Life, out.